Have you ever caught yourself wondering, why is it that so many younger women seem irresistibly drawn to older men? It's a dynamic we see everywhere, from celebrity couples to everyday people in your neighborhood. Most people are quick to explain it away with money, luxury, or social status. It's easy to say, "Oh, she's just after his wealth," or "It's just a phase, a midlife crisis." But what if I told you? Those assumptions barely scratch the surface of what's really happening. The truth is far more meaningful, more emotional, and more powerful than people realize. Younger women aren't just chasing dollar signs or status symbols. What they crave goes deeper, into places money and youth can't reach. They long for qualities that older men naturally develop over years of experience. Things like unwavering confidence, calm wisdom, emotional stability, and solid life direction. These aren't things a younger man, no matter how handsome or energetic, can easily offer. And once you understand why these qualities matter so much, you'll start to notice this attraction dynamic happening everywhere you look. From movie stars and musicians to your own friend group or co-workers. It's a silent, powerful connection happening all around us. And by the end of this video, you'll have a clearer, deeper understanding of why these relationships work. You might even begin to see love, attraction, and age in a whole new light. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our content on attraction, relationships, and psychology. And if this topic speaks to you, give this video a like. It helps get this message to more people just like you. Now let's dive into the real reasons why younger women find older men so magnetic. Let's be honest. Confidence is attractive, but not all confidence is created equal. Younger guys often try to appear confident through flashy behavior, expensive clothes, fast cars, or bold talk. But underneath all that, many of them are still figuring out who they are, what they want, and how to handle life's challenges. That's not a flaw. It's just the reality of being young. Older men, on the other hand, have lived through enough storms to know what matters and what doesn't. They've built their careers, taken risks, survived heartbreak, and walked through fire more than once. And because of that, they carry a quiet, unshakable kind of confidence that can't be imitated. This isn't the loud, in-your-face bravado of a guy trying to prove something. It's the calm, self-assured energy of a man who knows himself. A man who doesn't need validation, approval, or attention because he's already earned his own respect. For a younger woman, being around that kind of presence is intoxicating. It makes her feel safe, protected, and drawn to the kind of calm certainty that younger men rarely display. In a world full of self-doubt, endless comparisons, and people pretending to be someone they're not, a man who owns his confidence quietly is a rare, powerful thing. There's a difference between being fun and being emotionally steady. And the truth is, many younger men haven't quite reached that level yet. They're still navigating who they are, what they want, and how to manage their emotions. It's common for them to be impulsive, moody, defensive, or inconsistent, without realizing how it affects a relationship. This leaves many women feeling like they're on an emotional roller coaster, never quite knowing where they stand, what's coming next, or how serious things really are. Older men bring something different to the table. They've loved, lost, learned, and leveled up emotionally. They know how to listen, how to be emotionally available without getting defensive, and how to handle tough conversations without shutting down. An older man isn't going to vanish when things get real. He doesn't play games, use manipulation, or act emotionally unavailable to keep a woman hooked. Instead, he provides stability, reassurance, and emotional safety. For a younger woman, this isn't just attractive, it's life-changing. It's like finally being able to relax, open up, and be herself without worrying about hidden agendas or mixed signals. And that kind of connection goes way beyond physical attraction. It reaches the heart. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Stability is incredibly attractive. Not the dull, lifeless kind people imagine, but the peaceful, steady kind that makes a woman feel secure and safe to build something meaningful. Younger men often chase excitement, adventure, and spontaneity, and while those things are fun for a while, they can make relationships feel unstable, unpredictable, and just stressful. Older men, by contrast, tend to be more grounded. They've made their mistakes, learned their lessons, and discovered the importance of consistency. They aren't jumping from job to job, hobby to hobby, or relationship to relationship. They've built careers, financial security, strong values, and clear goals. And for a woman looking for peace in a chaotic world, that's a rare, beautiful thing. With an older man, there are no guessing games. She knows where she stands, what he wants, and where the relationship is headed. It's not about money, it's about peace of mind. And in today's world, that's priceless. Younger women don't just want to be looked at, they want to be truly seen. And this is where older men shine. They pay attention to the little things, the way she laughs when she's nervous, her favorite songs, the stories behind her dreams. They ask thoughtful questions and remember what matters. It's not about grand, over-the-top gestures. It's about consistency, presence, and attentiveness. Older men tend to have fewer distractions. They aren't constantly chasing validation, glued to their phones, or trying to impress anyone. This allows them to give their full, undivided attention to the woman they're with. And for a woman, being with someone who makes her feel truly valued, appreciated, and understood, not just desired, creates a powerful, lasting bond. Let's face it, experience matters, not because it makes someone better, but because it makes them wiser. Older men have lived through more of life's ups and downs. They've traveled, taken risks, made mistakes, loved deeply, and experienced heartbreak. And through it all, they've learned valuable lessons that shape who they are today. This life experience gives them a depth and perspective younger men simply haven't developed yet. It allows them to approach relationships with more patience, empathy, and emotional intelligence. For younger women, being with an older man isn't just about romance, it's about growth. It's about being around someone who can challenge her, guide her, and help her see the world in new, meaningful ways. This isn't about control, it's about connection. And it's one of the reasons these relationships often feel so rich, mature, and rewarding. Let's be honest, there's a big difference between fun chemistry and a real connection. And while younger guys might be great at playful banter and exciting dates, older men understand how to build something deeper. They know that genuine connection is built through vulnerability, trust, emotional safety, and shared values. They aren't afraid to have honest conversations, show affection, or express their feelings. They know how to show up consistently, not just when it's easy, but when it's tough. And for a woman craving something real, that kind of emotional availability is incredibly attractive. It makes her feel safe enough to open up, to share her dreams, fears, and deepest thoughts, knowing she won't be judged or dismissed. That kind of bond can't be faked. It's built slowly, patiently, and with genuine intention. One thing you'll notice about most older men is that they've grown past the phase where it's about how many women they can attract or how wild their social life looks. They've learned, often the hard way, that quantity means nothing without quality. For younger women who are exhausted by shallow, surface-level attention, this is like a breath of fresh air. Older men are more intentional about who they spend their time with. They value meaningful conversation over meaningless small talk and deep connection over casual flings. They're not trying to keep up with trends or impress crowds. When an older man chooses to be with someone, it's because he genuinely sees something valuable in her, not because he's bored, lonely, or looking for a temporary thrill. And for a woman who's tired of mixed signals and empty words, this kind of clarity is priceless. It shows her she's more than just another option. She's chosen for who she is, not what she looks like or what she can offer. Insecurity is one of the biggest relationship killers out there. It leads to jealousy, control, arguments, and constant second-guessing. Younger men, while often well-meaning, tend to carry insecurities they haven't fully worked through yet. It might show up as competitiveness, possessiveness, emotional shutdown, or subtle manipulation. Older men, by contrast, have usually worked through much of this already. They know their worth, they understand what they bring to the table, and they aren't threatened by a woman's independence, success, or confidence. They don't need constant reassurance. They're not looking to compete with her achievements or control her life. Instead, they celebrate her wins, support her ambitions, and let her shine. For a younger woman, this can be incredibly liberating. It allows her to grow without feeling like she has to shrink herself to protect someone else's ego. And that kind of freedom inside a relationship is rare and irresistible. One of the subtle but powerful differences between younger and older men is how they approach time. Younger guys often feel like they're racing against the clock, rushing through conversations, chasing goals, jumping from one relationship to the next. They can be restless, distracted, always looking for what's next. Older men have learned to slow down. They understand the importance of presence, of actually being in the moment, listening deeply, paying attention, and making memories that last. When he's with her, he's not halfway on his phone, thinking about his next move, or planning an exit. He's there, focused, interested, appreciative. That kind of presence makes a woman feel deeply valued, like she's worth slowing down for. And in a world that constantly pulls people in 1,000 directions, being someone's priority, not just their option, is one of the most attractive feelings in the world. Ambiguity kills attraction. And a lot of younger men are still figuring out what they want from life, from relationships, and from themselves. That's completely normal, but it also creates uncertainty. A woman can spend months or years hoping he'll eventually get serious, commit, or figure out what he wants. It's draining, frustrating, and emotionally exhausting. Older men usually don't have that problem. They know what they're looking for, whether it's a serious relationship, meaningful companionship, or long-term partnership. They communicate their intentions early. They don't send mixed signals, breadcrumb affection, or play games. For a younger woman who's tired of guessing where she stands, this kind of honesty and clarity is incredibly appealing. It allows her to relax into the relationship, knowing she's with someone who's emotionally available, who knows himself, and who's capable of building something meaningful. The best relationships aren't the ones filled with constant drama, unpredictability, or tension. They're the ones where both people grow, thrive, and feel more like themselves than ever before. Older men tend to be supportive, encouraging, and nurturing in ways that help a younger woman blossom. They offer guidance without control, advice without judgment, and love without conditions. They recognize her potential, not just as a girlfriend or partner, but as a person with unique talents, dreams, and ideas. And instead of competing with her or holding her back, they challenge her to level up. A great older man doesn't try to mold a woman into what he wants. He creates an environment where she can become everything she wants to be. And that kind of relationship, it leaves a lasting imprint on a woman's heart. People love to joke that younger women are only with older men for the material perks. But what many don't realize is that physical attraction itself changes over time. It's not always about chiseled abs, a perfect jawline, or youthful energy. For many women, what becomes more attractive is the energy a man carries. His confidence, his emotional presence, his sense of humor, his leadership, and his ability to make her feel safe. Older men often carry themselves with a kind of calm, masculine energy that transcends physical appearance. Sure, he might have a little gray in his beard, a few lines around his eyes, or a different body type than he had at 25, but those things don't take away from his attractiveness, they add to it. They tell a story, they show character, they reflect experience, resilience, and wisdom, and those are qualities that light up a different kind of spark, the kind that lasts. At the end of the day, younger women are drawn to older men for reasons that go far deeper than wealth or status. They're drawn to men who stand firm in who they are, communicate clearly and honestly, show up consistently, lead with emotional maturity, value connection over conquest, create safe, nurturing, supportive environments, live with intention, presence, and confidence. These are qualities that aren't age exclusive. But the truth is, many of them only fully develop with time and experience. That's why younger women often find themselves naturally gravitating toward men who are older. Because at a certain point in life, what matters isn't age, it's alignment. And when a woman finds a man who makes her feel safe, seen, valued, and challenged, she won't care if he's 5 years older, 10 years older, or 20. Because love doesn't measure itself in numbers. It measures itself in how it makes you feel.